Hi, welcome to this episode of The Daily. My name is Brendan Malone. Well, one of the most intriguing things that I have seen in the wake of the Brexit vote is the number of people who are sharing around memes and even writing articles and posting commentary from people who are suggesting that effectively we should just do away with democracy and instead we should adopt a ruling oligarchy of experts and elites who will tell us what we should do in these situations. I kind of find this bizarre for two reasons. Number one, have these people stopped to consider how extremely dangerous this would actually be? Like, the smaller the pool is of people who get to make these kind of decisions, the more risky it becomes because a smaller group of people is much easier to manipulate and to control. And a smaller group is less likely to have diversity of opinion and thought and understanding and experience. So for example, automatically, if you're going to require an expert class to be the part of the elite ruling oligarchy, then what that means is that expert class is more likely to represent the interests of the upper classes, not the lower classes, because your experts generally come from those who have the wealth and the financial mobility to actually gain those qualifications and become experts in those fields. So all of a sudden, you're going to have this class disparity, which supposedly a lot of people who support Remain were actually opposed to. Secondly, what's the assumption here? I think actually people have been quite dishonest, really. Because the assumption they're really sort of trying to put out there is that these people who voted to leave are a bunch of idiotic, ignorant imbeciles. They're just thick, don't you know, Trevor? They can't understand knowledge like we do. They are just the poor, unwashed masses. They're a bunch of idiots, and you shouldn't let them anywhere near a voting booth. Sure, we should have them working in our factories making widgets, but these people are too thick to be making big, important decisions about their own sovereignty. That's up to us, don't you know? It's really quite an arrogant and condescending attitude, but I actually don't think they really, truly believe that. I think what's really going on here is instead the Remain camp is really annoyed with the democratic outcome that came from this vote. And so what they're doing is they are trying to suggest that everyone who voted to leave is either ignorant or deceived. They're a bunch of idiots and they don't know what they're doing. And because they voted away, I didn't want them to vote. However, I guarantee you if the vote had gone the other way and it had been a Remain vote, they wouldn't be saying, oh, well, these people are idiots and we should only be ruled by experts who tell us what to do because maybe the experts would have come to a different conclusion. $5. There's no way that they'd actually be saying that at all. In reality, this is nothing more than just a condescending attempt to try and look down your nose at voters, when I actually think most voters are capable of understanding the issues here. The other thing that this sort of approach completely overlooks is the fact that there was lots of dishonesty. These so-called experts were fudging and misrepresenting facts on the Remain side as well. So just like there was misrepresentation of things on the Leave side, there was plenty of misrepresentation and dishonesty going on the Remain side as well. And I think at the end of the day, most voters are capable of understanding basic concepts like sovereignty. They are understanding basic concepts like the fact that, yeah, okay, I might have to get a new passport. I'll still be able to travel in the EU. A lot of Remain voters seem quite ignorant about this, which is kind of ironic. They're claiming to be more educated, and yet they seem ignorant of the fact that they will still be able to trade and travel to other European nations. They're talking as if they won't. There'll just be a different procedure now. So I think people actually are capable of understanding those things and then making a good decision about whether or not they think that is a price to pay in order to maintain sovereignty, in order to try and take back control, etc., of their own self-governance. And it really is, not only is it arrogant, but I think it's also very ignorant, ironically, to suggest that most voters are incapable of understanding those sort of basic, sort of natural law issues and making a good decision about them. Thanks for watching. I'll see you tomorrow on The Daily.